Hello everyone, it's Mr. Michael here. Welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about tag questions. What is a tag question? What is a tag? A tag is simply a small question that is attached to the end of a sentence, a statement. Let's look at a few examples of a tag question. It's cold outside, isn't it? You're coming to the party, aren't you? You haven't done your homework, have you? We must take off our shoes, mustn't we? Those are all tag questions. Okay, let's look at the patterns together. So in a tag question, if the main sentence is in negative, the tag is in positive. For example, you didn't tell him, did you? So the main sentence is negative. You didn't tell him. So the question part should be positive. Did you? That's usually the case. There are exceptions. If the main sentence has a negative word, the sentence is considered negative. So the question, the tag part, needs to be positive. For example, you have never been here, have you? He never drinks alcohol, does he? The main sentence contains a negative word, never. So the tag question part needs to be positive, does he, instead of doesn't he. And of course, if the sentence is positive, usually we use a negative tag. For example, you told him, didn't you? The main sentence is positive. You told him. The tag should be negative, didn't you? Now we know the patterns of the tag question. Let's look at the rules. There are 12 rules of a tag question you need to remember. The first rule is, if you use let's in a main sentence, we use shall for the question. For example, let's begin, shall we? Number 2, we use aren't I instead of am not I. For example, I'm on time, aren't I? Number 3, we use won't for polite requests. For example, you will help me with all the other things, won't you? So it's a request. We use won't you. Number 4, we use will or would with imperative sentences or commands. For example, wait here until I return. Would you? Wait here until I come back. Will you? Number 5, when the main sentence uses must, we ask with mustn't. For example, this must be your house, mustn't it? Number 6, 2 forms of tags can be used when the main sentence has have as its verb. In British English, we say, you have enough money, haven't you? In American English, we say, you have enough money, don't you? Both haven't and don't are correct. Number 7, when the main sentence has a person's name, we use a pronoun instead in the tag question. Paul is a good tennis player, isn't he? We don't say, Paul is a good tennis player, isn't Paul? Number 8, we use it in a tag question to ask about this or that in the main sentence. For example, that is a beautiful painting, isn't it? Number 9, we use they in a tag question to ask about these or those in the main sentence. These are your shoes, aren't they? Number 10, if the main sentence is a there be sentence, we use there in the tag. There is a lot of water, isn't there? Number 11, if in the main sentence we use indefinite pronouns, such as anybody, nobody, anyone, we use they to ask the tag question. For example, everybody is here, aren't they? Or nobody has left, have they? Number 12, we use didn't in a tag question if the main sentence uses used to. For example, you used to go skiing at Glen Eden a lot, didn't you? Those are the 12 rules for tag questions. Now let's look at how to use them. You can use a tag question to ask for information. You can use a tag question to ask for a favor, or you can use it to ask for confirmation or agreement. In the first two scenarios, we use a rising tone. For example, asking for a favor. You wouldn't lend me some money, would you? If it's asking for information, you also use a rising tone. For example, the train for Toronto stops here, doesn't it? If you ask for confirmation or agreement, you use a falling tone. For example, the teacher isn't in a good mood today, is he? Or, she looks pretty, doesn't she? We use a falling tone tag question to ask for confirmation or agreement. The last thing we want to talk about a tag question is how to answer them. Many people are so confused with how to answer tag questions or questions in general. But just remember one thing. Focus on the reality. What you want to say determines what type of answer you provide. Yes or no, based on the reality. For example, you're not leaving now, are you? If you're not leaving, just say, no, I'm not. If you are leaving, say, yes, I am. Another example, it's windy outside, isn't it? If it's windy outside, just say, yes, it is. If it's not windy, just say, no, it isn't. Simple as that. So now you understand all the rules, the patterns, and how to answer those tag questions. Let's take a little test. Listen to this question. We must learn English, mustn't we? Write down your answer in the comments below and see if you totally understand what we have learned about tag questions today. If you liked today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and then make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm Mr. Michael. See you next time.